Hello everybody, welcome to the Swann Systems Initial Introduction to Auto-Enrolment. The format for this webinar will be an overview of auto-enrolment and what steps you need to do next and the resources that are available to you. I will go through the basics and then split out the different types of businesses and how, if at all, auto-enrolment affects them. So who is Workie and what does he mean to me? Auto-enrolment is the government initiative to have the majority of the working population to have their own personal company pension scheme. The government department responsible for this is the pension regulator. This is being phased in over 5 years, with all businesses with employees being given staging date dependent upon the number of employees that they have. So when should you be ready? You really should be acting now. The pension industry have been asking for all employers to set up their company pension schemes well before their staging dates. This is because there are 1.3 million businesses that employ people. Therefore, there will need to be the same number of pension schemes in place by 2017. So what's a staging date? Staging date is the date stated that you have to put your company pension scheme in place and enrol all your eligible employees into the scheme and start processing the scheme through your company payroll. You are able to postpone your staging date by up to 3 months to align with business processes, i.e. financial quarters year ends. So what are the penalties? Currently, the pension regulator will send you a warning letter and then issue a penalty notice. Penalties for 1 to 4 employees currently is £50 per day, and for 5 to 49 employees, £500 per day. So what do I tell my employees? You have to do a formal assessment of all your staff. This can easily be done through your payroll software. This involves checking the age of each employee and their earnings. Eligible employees are between 22 years of age and their state pension age, earning between £5,824 and £42,385 annually, and they work within the UK. For all eligible employees, they will then need to be sent a letter notifying them of their automatic enrolment into the company pension scheme. This also notifies them of their option to opt out. For all uneligible employees, they will also need to be sent a letter notifying them that they have the option to opt in to your company pension scheme. We have all the letters in template form to send to you as requested. We can also add those to your company letterhead for you. You cannot seem to encourage your employees to opt out. This is classed as an immediate penalty. So now we're going to go on to the different types of businesses and how auto-enrolment affects them. Please note that if you employ staff, then this is at the end of this section, so please don't get bored. So you own your own business as a sole trader but not a limited company. At present you are outside the scope of auto-enrolment, but we have found that many clients in this bracket are now thinking up of setting their own pension plans. So it would be advisable to make sure that if you set up a pension plan that it is compliant with the pension regulator. So in the future, if you want to employ staff, you've got a pension scheme all ready to use. So you run your own business as a limited company with just you as a sole director. As with the sole trader, you are currently outside of this legislation. So you own a limited company, but there are more than one of you as directors, and you still have no other employees. As with the sole trader and single company director, you are outside of the legislation. We have found that quite a few of this type of company have been automatically sent a staging date. If so, you will need to deregister with the pension regulator via their website. We do have a full step-by-step guide of how to do this should you need assistance. So you have your own business with staff and you currently have a pension scheme in place. Please do check with your current pension provider, as many pension plans that have been in place for a long period are deemed as uneligible by the pension regulator, many because their annual fees are classed as being too high. If you find this is the case, you will need to put a new company pension scheme in place for any new employees. It may not be in the interest of your current employees to move them out of the old scheme. In this scenario, you will need to run both the pension schemes concurrently through your payroll. So you have your own business with employees, but currently have no pension in place. As I said at the beginning, the pension industry has thousands of schemes to set up, and they are already struggling to keep up with demand. So act sooner rather than later to get a pension scheme in place. You do not have to use it to your staging date. You will also need to show due diligence that the pension scheme you've chosen was the best one for your company at this point in time. Please keep all paperwork regarding this, should an employee challenge their pension provision in the future. So who do I go to for a pension? We are unable ourselves to provide pension information to you as we are not financial advisors. On the next slide is a list of financial advisors that we have as customers we work very closely with, just to give you some idea of people that you could use locally. So how can Swan help you with pension auto-enrolment? We've been working with small business owners since 2002 for all their bookkeeping and payroll requirements. We can assist with the staff assessments and letters. We have all the pension regulator templates ready, downloaded to send to you or add to your own company letterhead. Once you have chosen your pension, we can assist with the setup of the pension scheme with your own payroll software, or we can set it up within the payroll bureau that we run here at Swan. We can liaise directly with your pension provider as long as we have authority from you that we are able to speak to them. We can process all your payroll and liaise with your staff over any of the queries that I'm sure that they will have. We aim to save you time as we run weekly payrolls and are dealing with auto-enrolment all of the time. So thank you so much for taking time to listen to this webinar today. We hope that you found it helpful. Our next webinar is for putting pension schemes in place and the actual paperwork you need to send to the employees. So thank you very much for listening.